The equipment you see on the table is what I packed for a special task, recording a short and publishing it while the event was still ongoing. Before setting off, I made sure to gather everything I needed. The first thing I packed was my camera, then just in case I included a set of wireless microphones. I also take a secondary lens, my iPad Pro M4, for on-the-go editing, yes, extra batteries, memory cards, charger, power bank, an SSD drive, and a camera strap to help relieve my back through the day, cables, adapters, and additional microphones, and of course my AirPods. That wasn't all. I also packed the new DJI RS4 mini gimbal with tracking in the combo version along with an additional handle. To keep everything in place on the backpack, I secured it with a Velcro strap, making the whole package look really amazing. Before I go, I didn't forget my Fotoforma cap, since it was their event. It only made sense to bring it with me. The event took place at the conference center. The first thing I saw was a pretty huge queue. Everyone was waiting to pick up their tickets. While I'm looking for my ticket, I say hello to some familiar faces and then go to assemble my gear for the job. As my first task came up not planned, capturing a few shots of the event's atmosphere, the number of people, and the overall setting. Since the queue was quite long, it was the perfect opportunity to take some photos. It stretched all the way to the second room, so I made sure to capture it from different angles and double check my shots for sharpness and accuracy. Took a quick snapshot of the entrance and then headed upstairs to the main conference hall. If I remember correctly, it was the largest one and it was already almost full. Snapped there a few shots, then transferred them and quickly edited with the Lightroom mobile on the iPad. After selecting and approving the best ones, I saved them on a memory card and passed them for publication. Then I switched to filming the core material for the reels, the shorts. My goal was to showcase the people, the event atmosphere, and the new gear, while also asking around about the latest equipment released some time ago, like the massive new telephoto lens from the Sigma or the unique Sigma BF, which was a hot topic. Of course, I also took a moment for an Instagram post to update my friends. After that, I moved back to the conference hall to capture shots of the speakers as they prepared for their presentation. I tested the gimbal tracking feature and I have to say the results were impressive. The full hall was also worth capturing, so I took a few more shots, checked how the gimbal handled movement, and even showed some footage to colleagues. The gimbal itself is getting a bit of attention, mainly due to its tracking module and the fact that the gimbal is coming in different color than usual. The active track feature made filming much smoother, allowing me to focus on moving around without worrying bumping into people or objects. Once I had enough wide-angle shots, I switched to different lengths and choose 50mm focal. As you might have seen, in all my footage I used a mist filter. After that I balanced the setup to my preferred focal length before going next. My focus at this point was capturing close-up shots at 50mm. I switched to SNQ mode and added a crop to make the frame even tighter. I also met a model at the photo wall and unexpectedly Maciek showed up. We exchanged quick high five and he asked if I was filming the setup and he was happy to see himself on camera. Next I headed to backstage where another photo setup was being prepared. I grabbed a few shots and then returned to my starting point to put down the gimbal, deciding to switch to handheld static shot with a 70mm focal length. I went back to the main event area. By then the talks had ended and people were exploring the gear, testing a new equipment. That's exactly what I wanted to capture. Science, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect on the first day. I recorded more footage than I needed for the reel, but that's never a bad thing. Extra footage always come in handy. Around midday, I started feeling my first wave of low energy, mainly due to skipping meals. So I grabbed coffee and the cake to refuel my energy before going back to the shoot more footage of the first day. I filmed some colleagues that were also working in this area, filmed a model posing at the photo wall and tried to capture as much movement and dynamic shot as possible. Since I was editing everything in real time, I knew I will remember which shots were the best, making the selection process much smoother. For my first reel, I aimed to create something a bit slower, while still showcasing everything happening at the event. Photo walls, presentation, people in the area. The only thing I missed out on event was the photo walks outside, but I managed to visit almost every presentation. I filmed what I needed and even test some gear. I also get a special request. One of the models recognized me for the previous events and asked if I could take a few Instagram shoots for her. The lighting at the first location wasn't that great, so we moved to another spot where I use a flash. She loved the result, and that's what matters most. I went back to the conference hall for few final shots, and in the meantime I received a request to capture some images from a special presentation. I made it just in time, took the photos and sent them over immediately. Since everything was happening live, I had to react quickly. As the day was going to the end, I had one last location in mind to film. While waiting for the next talk to begin, someone recognized me and asked about a pretty cool lens, so we had a quick chat. After that, I went back to the hall to get my final shots for the summary. I knew this in that room had some interesting lighting and atmospheric effect that I didn't want to miss. The last footage I captured was from the biggest lecture of the day. Then I headed downstairs, but before diving into editing, I noticed that pizza had arrived. No way I was skipping that. After grabbing a few slices, I found a quiet spot upstairs and go to work on editing the first reel from the event. I managed to finish everything before 6 p.m, but there was a minor fuck up. I accidentally delayed my entire project after 20 minutes of editing, so I had to start over from the scratch. Once everything was finished, I saved the final version into a memory card and handed it off to the person in charge of publishing. And that's how my first day went. Here are the results. Enjoy.
I'm not a joyride, a hit and run.